Right, I don't know if you guys heard me or not there, but just trying to fix my settings here for the stream here. I got it fixed though, I think. But good morning, guys. Good morning. Saw some monster rips yesterday. TNX on quite a big move this morning. Put that on the watch list. This looks like another one of those pumpy stocks we had yesterday. See, Oxbar with a nice move, but no. Okay, so we got a bunch of different movers. Looks like another low float pump day. Sounds a SPY. Okay, SPY's up. Looks like RHE is doing crazy things again. Halted at 4. And nothing on that. Interesting. TCCO. Yeah, this is about to start breaking out. If it can break over 13, which it's trying to. Oh yeah. A little 50 cent, 60 cent pop there right over 13. Big drop there. So it got rejected pretty hard at 13. Are you talking about TCCO? That's getting halted on the way down right now. Keep an eye on that, but I mean, we got multiple stocks getting halted. Oxbar actually looks a little interesting. Just no PR on it though. Let's see here. What do we got for resistance? 238, 240 is some resistance. That's where it's kind of getting held up at. And after 240. So this is a possible play as well. IMMR. Possibly could get going. Let's see here. TENX just bounced off of this trend line. Was TNX up 130%? You have a very nice triangle here. Sam, let me give this a second here. We'll go 50 shares. I feel a little late. I'm starting to push up. Let's see if it can break out of this triangle and make a new high or not. Now it's a little bit early on this triangle for it to break out, but it could. It is getting good buying volume all of a sudden here. I think we got a few minutes on this to try to get up and test. This top of this triangle. Top of the triangle is at 272, 275, somewhere in that area. A little bit of selling coming through there. I don't know, the buying's starting to increase a little bit. See, a lot of selling at 260. Let's see if we can get through this 260. A lot of sellers sitting there. A bit of a double top there on the 5 minute. We'll make sure 240 holds up as support. SQ. Was that Squarespace or something? A little concerned about this double top, but as long as the 9 EMA holds up, it should be alright. Square. See, 250 starting to act as a little resistance again. Not quite to the tip of this triangle either, though, so that's... So it may take a few minutes. Let's see, that 9 is trying to hold. RHE, I see is up to 551. Yeah, RHE probably is going to be like it was yesterday. It may go crazy here for a little bit. So yeah, a minute and a half on this candle. This 5 minute candle's got to close above the 9, so it's got to close above 240. A little sketchy there. Testing that 240 area in the last minute of this candle. See, 30 seconds. It needs to close above the 9. So it looks like we are going to get this close above 240, or at least right at 240. Yeah, right at 240. Now we want to see buy-in start to increase. We want to see this 5 minute candle get over the tops of these two. Right now you got a little downtrend on this 1 minute. It's got to break out of. Pulling back a little bit here. Should have support there at 233. Yeah, so right across the tops of these candles is a little bit of support. If that can hold up. Let's see, I think this is still going to take a little while. So I'm going to probably put a stop loss in and pop around and look. There's probably about, I don't know, probably 15 minutes before this comes back up and tests, once it drops out. Okay, but a lot of buyers at 230. Yeah, we're getting we're getting a pretty strong amount of selling, so I want to see this 230 hold up. Needs to break over this downtrend, this 1 minute downtrend, and then I'll put a stop loss in and look at some of these other possible plays. Just want to make sure this is not going to fall out of the bottom. Coming down to the bottom of the triangle here. What's up, HH Trader? Good morning, buddy. I almost want to average down if this. Okay, see, it's starting to possibly break this 1 minute downtrend. Almost want to average down. And it's starting to look a little sketchy. It needs to hold the bottom of the triangle or it's going to dump. This be a little bit premature a dump, but because it's not quite to the tip of the consolidation. Actually, here's the downtrend now. There we go. No. That's a terrible drawing. There we go. So there's the adjusted downtrend on the 1 minute. $225 is the last stand. 225 needs to hold up. Absolutely needs to hold up, and that will be it for this. Looking a little sketchy. Really testing this downtrend. You see buyers come in and push us back off the downtrend. If they don't, this is going to crack right here. You see a lot of buyers came in there. We want to continue to see that. We do not want this to crack. See how low did I get? 220. See, where's that at? 217. See, so selling volume's starting to decrease a little bit. Now I just need to see buying volume come back in. A minute on this 5 candle. I want to make sure this is going to hold here. No more selling volume. I'm going to test this 220. This may be done. This is getting a little ugly. It's 220. Yeah, 220 is where the last little bit of support is at. Shorters might have won this battle early. Well, now we're starting to see a little bit of buying come back in. Alright, I'm putting a stop loss below that 220, and let's give this a few minutes to shake around and do its thing. TCCO. Got a double bottom here on TCCO. This might rip soon. break over 12. That's interesting. That is interesting. Let's see. MOSY, that sold off. That's not doing anything. Oxbar sold off. MR. RHE halted on the way down at the moment. Yeah, I'm liking the way this looks. I think I'm gonna probably grab like 20 shares of this in a second. See, right at 11, that probably wouldn't. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to go as crazy as you guys are saying it's going to go, but I do think it probably could have a breakout here soon. Bit of a spread. Let's see, we got a 5-minute. Yeah, a bit of a crazy spread on this at the moment. I'll wait to see how this 1-minute candle closes and then how the next one starts to open. Yeah, it is very choppy. It's very, very choppy at the moment. Chop festivities. Actually, I want to see this 1-minute downtrend break. I'm just thinking about maybe just going in, just getting in early as hell, because I'm only going to go 20 shares. I'm going to go 20 shares here. I'm just going to hold these 20 shares for a bit. So we got a minute on this 5-minute candle to close. Ooh, big drop down. And then right back up. So it may bite me going early. May bite me going this early. We'll see. It is very choppy. Let's see, we got a couple seconds left on this 5-minute candle to close. $10.50 is holding up as pretty decent support, or at least trying to. Need to see more buying volume come in here a little bit more to push this back, push it back over this trend line here. It's just so choppy at the moment. It's very sketchy. $10.50 cracking a little bit. It's a very low float stock. I mean, this is extremely low float. So if it cracks, it's going to crack hard and fast. If it starts getting buying volume back in, then it could start ripping. It's very sketchy. I didn't say anything about a big buyer. Everything's very sketchy. I was trying to hold this 1050. If it holds at 1050, that's good. It needs to hold that 1050 right there. And then just we need more buying volume to push it up and over. What is this up? This is up 174%. I didn't realize it was up that much. See, it's getting held up at this downtrend on the 1 minute. Needs to break over that real soon. You're looking for the more sketchy, the better. So there we go. Starting to, let's see, let's make sure it gets back over 11 here. 11 holding up as a little resistance still. There we go. Now it's back above 11. Oh, still getting held up at 11. 11 needs to start holding that support instead of resistance. Still a little bit sketchy. Needs to get through 11 and start holding 11 as support, and then needs to push up to 12. Start testing 12, and then this thing can get going. This is kind of a triangle right here. Consolidation. Yeah, here, see, TNX doesn't look like it's doing too good. There we go, nice little bounce off of this downtrend. I'm gonna pop over real quick and take a look at TNX. Yeah, TNX is getting real sketchy. Still testing this downtrend. Still holding up at the moment. Yeah, see, here we go. This is what we want to see. We want to see 11 start holding as support. Getting held up at 1150 a little bit. Little flows are degenerate gamblers. Yeah. Yesterday there was low float sex scandal. Today degenerate gamblers. So it is getting rejected there at 1150 a little bit. So it needs to get through that 1150 here soon. TNX is taking souls for ransom. Oh, there we go. We just popped through that 1150 there real quick. Let's see if it starts to build up and break 12. I think if it breaks 12, it's probably going to get a little nutty here. It's going to get a little frisky probably. Still getting held up at 1150 though. It did break through it real quick, but see, TNX is up to 240. Shit, I'm gonna be in the middle of two different trades that are gonna both start moving at the same time. It looks like TNX up to 245. I keep an eye on TNX at the corner of my eye. Oh God, I hate this when this happens at the same damn time. So bouncing off there, it's up to 250. Okay, so it's still got a little time before it tries to break out. So we'll keep watching Taco here and make sure 11 holds up. Absolutely want 11 to hold at this point on Taco. That's what I'm calling it. TCCO, it's Taco. This does need to break through 1150 here real soon. Sex farms? What's a sex farm? It sounds horrifying. Sounds like something out of Scary Movie, DB. Talking that craziness. So we want to see buying volume start to increase on this too. It needs to increase up into this $12 area. There we go. We're testing 1150 again. But it really needs to break through 1150 this time. Still getting held up. Let's see if buying volume increases. We need increasing buying volume right here. Still getting held up at 1150. That really needs to break down. I want to see it. I want to see 1150 break down here soon and 1150 start to hold as support. Alright, we're starting to push up here. Let's see what happens if we can get a big buying volume push through 12 and see if this gets going crazy or not. We are getting into the tippy of this triangle. We need to see increasing buying volume. And still getting held up a little bit at 1150. See if this 1 minute candle gets over 1170. TNX is up to 254. Still 1150 holding. This is a little sketchy. 1150 is holding this much. I do not like that. At this point, let's see. We don't want this back under 11 at this point. So if it drops under 11, then it's going to drop out of this little oh, right there it did it. Just dropped out of that consolidation triangle. So that's going to be a little sketchy. Looks like this is going to get halted on the way down, which is a little choppy. So this just got halted on the way down, but overall, on the 5 minute, it's a little bit ugly there. Did this get halted before? How many times has this been halted this morning? Got halted at 8:38. Look back here. So there was a halt there on the way up, a halt there on the way down, halt there on the way down. Each time that it had a halt on the way down, looks like it so it looks like a halt on the way up. Well, it doesn't look like it's gapping down or up out of halts. So when this comes out, it should come out at 10:20. If selling continues, then that could be real sketchy. Real sketchy. TNX is still slowly building its way up to that. Top of that triangle. If this comes out and keeps selling off, this could drop all the way down to 910 or even 875. TNX is starting to crank a little bit. I'm just sitting there thinking if I want to put a stop loss in right below this $10 area just in case. So I don't want it to dump even more. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in there. See TNX coming back down to the trend line again. Still some time on this one. Alright, Chi halted on the way down. I'm actually going to move my stop loss up on TNX. Oh, let's see, Taco just unhalted. So it is getting a little bounce off the bottom of this trend line. Let's see if buyers continue to come in and push this back up. Yeah, okay, so it's getting back over 11 right now. Trying to, anyway. This is a sketchy, choppy stock right here. This thing is a little nuts. Laser. What's happening with laser here? Laser is interesting. Got a little downtrend there. Taco needs to break back above 11. See, it's getting held up at 11 right now. We don't want to see that. It needs to get back above it. TNX looking a little sketchy. Still testing that bottom. Here, just in consolidation time. This really needs to push back up to 11. At least it needs to hold this 250 or 1050 area. You can see where it's bouncing off 1050 earlier. It needs to hold above that at this point. I think if it cracks below 1050 again, it's probably done. See this little straight downtrend we have on the 1 minute there. It needs to break this 1 minute as well. I don't love sketchy stocks, but I like Taco because of that double bottom it had, but now it's getting a little sketchy. It didn't really break out of that double bottom, and now we're just pretty much going sideways. See, we got 2 minutes on this 5 minute candle. We really want this 5 minute candle to hold above 1070 something. Choppy. Looking a little sketchy. 1050 needs to hold up right here. See, it's trying to, but it absolutely needs to. If it cracks below 1050, I'd say this is done. See, selling volume has decreased at the moment. If buyers could just come in, this would push up. Ooh, getting a bit of a spread. Ooh, getting real sketchy. Actually, it's still in this downtrend on the 1 minute. Hey, Soul Phone, don't worry about it, buddy. You'll get it next time. That's the thing about the stock market. You might miss a play today, but there'll always be more plays. And you knew the platform. You learned a lesson today. Take it as a lesson learned. IMR breaking highs. Yeah, IMR may get up there and test that 11 area. If we don't see any buying volume start to come in here real soon, then I'm probably going to get out of this because volume is slowly decreasing, but we're still having selling and not much buying coming in. We need to see a big buying volume bar like this here real soon, or this is going to dump. Like a 25-cent spread at the moment on this. Take out all these lines, take off some of these lines. See what we look like on the 15-minute on this. On the 15-minute, 15-minute, we're pretty much on a channel. Oh, TNX is starting to pop a little bit. Let me have to pop back over to TNX here. Yep. There we go. So starting to break out of this triangle. Testing right now on TNX. Just hit a new high today at 280. It's getting held up right there. After 280, if it can break above 280, there it goes. Then we got the world to run. Let me see. Let me look at this max chart. Okay, that looks like garbage, so I can't look at that. That ain't gonna help me any. So getting held up there. No, I just got stopped out on TCCO. That just sold out. See how bad that loss was. At 27. Yeah, you can see it rejected. Never got buying volume. That's what I was saying. If it didn't get buying volume, it was going to crack. So, a little rough loss there on TCCO, but the volume just died off. We did just hit a new high on TNX. We need to see. It's having a little bit of a sell-off now after that high. A little bit of profit taking, but this 5-minute candle did push back below the top of the triangle, so we need to see a candle close above the triangle if it's going to keep running. See how this looks on the 15. Yeah, if buying volume comes in here, a big amount of buying volume, this will break out pretty strong soon. I'm just gonna move my stop loss up a little more on this. I didn't sell through the rip because that shouldn't be the final rip. It could be, it very well could be, that could be all it had, but the whole entire triangle is still going, so that was a test. It's got one more time. It should have one more time of testing that 270 area before it sells off if it doesn't break out. Now, I could be wrong. It could just sell off from here, but there's still some space in this triangle of consolidation that could get it to start moving again. At this point, though, it can't drop below 240. If it drops below 240, you see there's a bunch of buyers there, but they are getting taken out. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. So the buyers did hold it up at 240. It absolutely cannot drop below 240. And it may crack. Well, no. But we want to see another build up to the top of this triangle. Another little curl up. Boy, Taco really dumping. This needs to stop testing that 240. Give me just a minute, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a little breather here while we're waiting on this to move. So yeah, give me just a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Ooh. Yeah, TNX may get a little sketchy too. What's happening with the SPY? Anything happen with the SPY? No, the SPY's not really doing anything. It had a sell-off, but now it's just kind of going sideways. Taco's back up to 10. See, on the 5-minute though, it is trying to hold above. It's still getting buyers at 240 at the trend line. So that's what we want to see. As long as that trend line holds up, it should make this, and it should make another little curl up and test 275 one more time. As long as it holds up in this area. See, laser looks like it had a dollar pop. IMMR still moving. But we are getting very close to the tip of this triangle. So this next time it comes up, if it doesn't sell off here, then we should see it push up one more time. This candle's got 20 seconds to close on the 5-minute. It needs to close above this downtrend line. Or not downtrend line, uptrend line. Closed right on it. So at this point, we're still in a waiting game on this. HH Trader thinks Oxbar is going to be the next one to move. I don't know. The way it's moving, it goes up and then it sells off and then it's pushed up again. Did hit a new high a day, but may sell off pretty hard again. It's a lot of selling pressure right here. Yeah, it needs to get through 245 here. 245 holding up as some resistance. Looks like it may crack out here. Getting real close to cracking. Yep, this looks like it's gonna crack. I'm probably gonna need a loss on this one too. Real sketchy. 232 is the last resort for this to hold up. It's no bueno right now. No bueno. This is going to stay alive. It needs to get back over 240 right here in this next 15 seconds. And they're looking real sketchy. 240 is acting as resistance. Well, let's see. There it goes. Okay, it did pop back over 240 for a second here. Let's see how we look on the 15. Yeah, I don't know. On the 15, it's starting to curl over. So this 15-minute candle right here needs to, let's see, so yeah, we got 15 minutes. This 15-minute candle needs to come all the way back up to 267 and close above that. Ox-bar with a quick pop and then a little double top here, so this is probably gonna come back down. TNX still having issues trying to hold above 240. Sounds like Amazon's here or something. My dog is going nuts. He's lost his mind. He's going crazy. See, RHE is a nasty halt fest. Yeah, this is getting so close to cracking. It's Greg. What are you talking about? You talking about DB? Talking crazy? So it's trying to push back up here. Needs to get back above 245. And then 250. Yeah, you're not wrong. There's now my dog's in here beside me. A Aladdin lamp? What are you talking about? Oh, this is getting real close to dumping here. Although there's a lot of buyers sitting at 235. A lot of them just got taken out there. But yeah, you are right, HH Trader. TNX is running out of Viagra. It is running out of the frisk. If it's going to get frisky, it needs to come back up, like here in the next minute or two, and get back over this back over the trend line. See, RHE is unhalted. See, RHE's just sitting there. KOSS, nothing there. Just checking around and see if anything else is going on. What a gap down. Wow. That gap down right there is nasty. That's almost a $5 gap down out of that halt. Yikes. PBI getting a pop out of nowhere. You think a big crash is coming on the stock market? I think we're going to have a sell-off the rest of this week. The last few days of this week is probably going to be quite a bit of a pullback because of people liquidating positions for tax purposes and whatnot. Yeah, tomorrow. That's what I was thinking too. I think tomorrow. Wasn't tomorrow Wednesday? Yeah, I think you are right about that, DB. I think that'll be coming the next day or two. I don't think it'll be a huge crash or anything, but Laser looking pretty decent here. If Laser could get back over 34, just trying to right now. Might get a pop over 34 to 35. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can hear that jingling and squeaking. My dog's in here playing with his toy right now. Oh, there he goes. He's leaving now. I mean, there probably will be a bunch of shorting. And we could, you know, DB and I both, we could be wrong about that, but normally the last couple of days into the year, there's somewhat of a dump. See, TENX almost got back above the downtrend. Or not downtrend, but uptrend. But getting held up there. That 250 area. If it gets back above 250, then it'll come back alive, but it's still a little sketchy at the moment. Let's see, let me look at that 15-minute candle again. Yeah, see, this 15-minute candle needs to be coming back up. It's got 5 minutes to close. If it closes down here like this is definitely going to drop off. I just use this just because this is my setup. I don't like to have a bunch of little charts. I just like having three. I don't want to be watching a whole bunch of stuff at once. I can just click back and forth and change the charts and stuff to see it. But it's just my setup and just how I set it up and how I like it. So I don't know. See, RHE got halted on the way back up, bouncing off of 4. Yeah, but I don't really like looking at that many charts at once. Like whatever stocks I'm keeping an eye on, I can see over here on the side on my watch list. I can see the prices and see what it's doing. So, I mean, if that helps you do what you do, just me personally, this is just how I do it. Just like on Taco earlier, I could see what TNX was doing out the corner of my eye just by looking at the price. Because once I take a look at the chart, then I know where the support and resistance is. So all I have to do is just look out the corner of my eye and say, okay, it's at that price. It's fine. It's above support. It's above resistance. That's why I wasn't worried about TNX earlier. I didn't need to really watch it because I could just see that price right there. On TENX here, I don't. At this point, I keep saying certain areas need to hold up, and then they don't, and then it comes back up, and then it goes back down. So I don't know if buying volume doesn't come in enough to push it back over this trend line, then it's going to dump soon. this is some really ugly consolidation right here. And at 15-minute candle's got a minute and a half to close. Yeah, no worries, Soap Foam. But like I said, if that's working for you, looking at all those different charts, then do what you do. And what works for you may not work for other people. Everybody's a little bit different. There's not an end all be all to the stock market. God, Taco just getting destroyed all the way down to 765. Yeah, everything seems to be choppy. Every stock we've looked at so far today has been choppy. Like nothing has had a big breakout. But it's a like I said, it's the last week of the year. People are gonna be a little more cautious. Institutions and stuff will be dropping their losers. Time and sales and buy button. Charts are for amateurs. You're talking crazy, One Life. You got charts. I know you got charts. You use charts. You're a technical trader. You can't be a technical trader without looking at a chart. One Life is trolling you, Soul Foam. He's trolling you right now. He absolutely uses charts. The only person who doesn't use lines or EMAs or anything is Daniel B. Daniel B is the crazy guy who doesn't use any of that. He goes off straight price action. But One Life is trolling hard right now. He's talking crazy just to mess with you guys. But yeah, we definitely got a choppy market. Let's see if this gets back over 250 here. If it can get back over 250, the frisk will start to come back in. But this is gonna have to break soon because it is getting extended. I guess consolidation, the more it goes sideways like that, the more likely it's going to crack out. See, getting rejected there again at that 250 area. See how we look on a 5 minute. 5 minutes kind of bluff too. I don't know at this point. I don't know. I don't know for sure if it's gonna get a breakout. Well, not, you never know for sure, but you're from Wall Street Bets. Well, I'm glad you came here, and you're no longer. I hope you're no longer with Wall Street Bets. The Robinhood retail trader scene is just a nightmare. This is starting to crack. That's what I was saying. If it couldn't get back over 250, it's going to crack. Most likely it's going to here very shortly. Hey, there you go. There you go, SoFoam. Hey, you got your head on your shoulders now. You've made the most amateur mistakes of going to Wall Street bets or stock twits. And you're seeking information, so you're already doing better than 80% of traders out there, because 80% of traders get stuck in the same ruts of listening to those crazy stock twits and people on all those different forums. Yeah, this looks like it's about to dump. I'm about to get stopped out here. My stop loss is right under 230. And it does not look like it's going to hold up. Nope. Yep, so got stopped out there, so. Failed breakout there. Let's see, RAG. Such a choppy. Let's see, Oxbar. You got this downtrend on Oxbar. If it could break over that downtrend, it may can start moving again. Choppy. So I'm going to take IMTE off my watch list. MOSY off my watch list. So Oxbar might, yeah, there it goes. Starting to pop a little bit. See Tcon. See what's happening with Tcon. Is that which one you said? Yeah, on Oxbar I'm just looking at price action. Like, see this downtrend, you connect the downtrend from the top of these candles, and then when it breaks the downtrend you can get a nice move there. So you see it broke the downtrend, and when you're coming up to this downtrend you want to see this increase in volume down here. So I'm watching the increase in volume come in, breaking the downtrend, watching the time and sales in level 2. But now that downtrend's broken and you have this new candle high there, you gotta kind of readjust it, because technically it's still in that downtrend till it breaks over the new high of day. But this actually isn't looking too bad. let's see, 237. I may take a shot on this. See, what is Oxbar up? Only 46%. There's no news on this though, so that's the only sketchy thing, but nothing else is really doing anything. Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot here. A little bit of buying volume starting to crease into that downtrend there. So let's see here. Oh, getting pushed back down below the downtrend, so it needs to break over that here real soon. You need to see more increase in volume, buying volume. See 260 holding up as a little resistance. You can see a bunch of sellers right here on the ask. And that's where that just got held up at, so that 260 needs to break soon. If it breaks over 260, I think we'll see this test this 275 area. So you can see the sellers sitting there, and they're holding this resistance line, and now the buyers pushed through, increasing volume, and it broke through there. But we want to see increase in volume continue to come into this, up to this 275 area, and then we want to see a big buying volume push at that 275 high there. So readjust the trend line. Now the downtrend's there. A little pullback. We don't want this to pull back very much though. We want it to keep this upward momentum. See, that's a little bit ugly of a pullback. Got held up at that 260 area. Let's see, is there 260 on this chart back here somewhere? It's resistance. A little bit. A little bit of resistance back there. This can't hold 250. Let's see, we got 2.5 minutes. This candle does not need to close with this big of an upper shadow. You just see this push back above 250 in the next 3 minutes. And this will be the last trade I take today, and then I'm going to call it a day because I got to get some lunch. So we got 2 minutes. It's trying to push back up. We want to see it get as close preferably we want to see it close over 260. That would be a strong close on this 15-minute candle. But I don't know if it's going to do it with a minute and a half. It's still getting kind of held up. I actually got a decent uptrend on this, but the uptrend is down at 243. So let's see, when you see increasing buying volume right here into 260, got 45 seconds left on this 15-minute candle. It's getting this is going to be a sketchy close. Hmm. So 245 trying to hold us some support here. It's starting to crack a little bit. It may come back down to 230. I want this to continue to build higher lows, so really don't want it below 237. That's as low as we want it. Look at this on the 5-minute. See the trend line, this is a little sketchy because the trend line is all the way back down at 212. So if it doesn't hold up the 9 EMA here on the 5, it's going to drop all the way back down there probably. Yeah, great. One Life is a very good trader and supporter. You got this previous high a day at 235, so that's why I'm not cutting out yet, because that right there should hold as some support. It held right here, so as long as 235 holds, But if it cracks, oh, there it's starting to crack a little bit. This is such a choppy market today. A lot of indecision. I think this is probably going to come back down to the trend line. But I'm not going to hold it down that long. What did I just do? You can see on that 15 minute where all three of these two candles both closed above that 235. So if this one can close above that 235, then it may have a chance to get frisky. We got what, 10 minutes on this? Yeah, 10 minutes on this 15-minute candle to close above that 235. I wouldn't even say 231. I'd say 235 because that's where it's holding support at on the 15-minute. It is bouncing off of the 9 EMA though on the 15-minute. It's not dropped below it yet. It's bounced off of it every time, so that's some decent indicator of price action. You're seeing buyers push this up, this 9 EMA there. Too bad you sold OCGN. What happened with OCGN? Let's pop over there real quick and take a look at it. Looks like it's cracking more. Big downtrend on OCGN. Yeah, so you locked out your profit on OCGN then, I'm assuming, instead of holding through it, continually selling off. It seems like there's a lot of new traders in the chat, or some. So if you're relatively new to trading, the best advice I can give you is don't trade a lot of money. Only trade 1 or 2 shares at a time while you're testing strategies and learning the ins and out of all the trading. Because if you don't know what you're doing, then you're pretty much just gambling. And why would you want to gamble with a lot of your money? So it's better to just trade with a little bit of money while you're new, and you're going to make mistakes, you're going to have problems. I mean, I've been trading for 6 years and I still make mistakes. But for you new traders, you're going to be learning from those mistakes, and take every mistake you make and every loss as a lesson. Learn from every loss that you take. Figure out why you lost on that. But if you're only trading a little bit of money, then you're not risking very much to learn how to trade. So I appreciate that support. I appreciate the support of the channel. We're going to start doing some more new series and stuff this new year. I mean, if you're making money, Soul Phone, you know, that's good. I'm just saying, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, you may be getting lucky, but you don't want to end up blowing up your account. Of course, if you're keeping a tight stop loss, then you're all right. And it looks like Oxbar is not going to do anything. It looks like it's gonna sell off here. Let's see, we got 5.5 minutes on his 15-minute candle to push back above this 235 line. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Thinkorswim is definitely way better than. This is cracking hard. I'm probably gonna have to get out here. This is getting real ugly on this. But Thinkorswim is definitely way better than Robinhood. I started talking and I lost focus on this trade here. I would have cut out a little earlier. Not looking good at the moment. But yeah, it definitely looks like it's not looking good. The only thing it's got going for it is this upward trend line where it may possibly continue to climb, but it's not going to break out anytime soon. We'll give the stream here. We'll give the stream like 10 more minutes here. I'm pretty much going to give up on Oxbar here. I should have cut out earlier, but I wasn't paying attention. So now I'm just gonna hold it here just to see if it's gonna come back up at all. Because there is a little support at 225 on the 15 minute. That's where it's trying to hold up now. Yeah, we'll give the stream like 10 more minutes. Probably going to cut out of this here in just a second. Because it is not looking good. It's been a bad week of trading for me. Really a bad last couple of weeks. I got to pull my shit together. Let's see, 30 seconds on this 15-minute candle to close here. It's trying to close above the 9. Brendan, let me ask you a question. Why do you think NVCN is a strong buy? Because you said supposedly. What makes you think it's a strong buy? This is a pretty nasty downtrend on this. On this 1 minute. So it's probably going to crack the trend line and sell off here soon. Unless some more buying volume comes in. IMMR up to 13. I just want to know why Brandon thinks it's why he thinks it's a good buy. If you can tell me a good reason why, because if you tell me that somebody said it was, that's not a good enough reason. Got to be doing your own research when buying stocks, making your own decisions. Don't buy because other people will tell you to buy or sell. You will never learn anything that way. It's like possibly it could, but the fact that, they're trying to reach compliance, that's not really a good thing. That means the company's been doing bad and they're about to get delisted. So that's not the best reason in the world. I kind of get what you're saying, that there may be a bounce for it getting listed, but or staying listed, but more than likely it's gonna be stupid. I mean, possibly. But it's not something, that's not something I would look at. Especially if you're talking like for a swing trade or something. If you're wanting a swing trade, then you don't want to really swing trade these penny stocks. These penny stocks are terrible for swing trades because they normally don't do. Like sometimes you can find a decent swing trade, but they're usually too unpredictable over a long period of time. PBI is a little interesting. Got a bit of a flag there. Could possibly break up out of that flag. This is a lot higher float too. I've just held this too long on Oxbar. Big buyer at 222 getting sliced right through by all the selling. Just downtrend, downtrend, downtrend on this 1 minute. A little bit of buying just came in there and pushed it right off the bottom of the downtrend there. Or I'm sorry, bottom of the uptrend and pushed it through the downtrend is what I meant to say. So yeah, this trend line is still holding up. I'm just gonna put a stop loss right under this trend line. If this trend line cracks, then it'll be over. If the uptrend continues to hold though, a little bit later, maybe in a couple hours, it could start coming back up. Let's see, it got down on 220. Trend line's at 219, so I'm just going to put it in at 218 for now. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point Daniel B is making there. I mean, if you're up 90 on NVCN, I mean, you're already up a decent little profit. You could just lock it in and be done with that trade and move on to the next one, you know? No, Brendan's just swing trading, and that's all you're doing. I can tell what you're doing. You're not holding none of these companies for long term. You're just looking for these short swings, which there's nothing wrong with that. You can make plenty of money swing trading if you know what you're doing. I'm just personally, I'm not a big fan of swing trading because I like to be able to sleep at night. And if I have too big of a position in a swing trade, it bothers me. Now, if it's a higher cap stock, if it's a mid cap or a large cap and it's a good strong company, then I have no problem holding that overnight. But swinging a penny stock or even a small cap higher price stock or anything too low float, uh, I mean, things can change so quick with a stock like that. So I don't think he meant hoping. I think he meant holding. Yeah, he's saying he doesn't hope. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to say. He says it right there. Just take what he's saying right now and just there you go. I ain't gonna speak for him. He knows what he's saying. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're making money consistently, no matter what strategy you're using or what you're doing, then do whatever works for you to make consistent profits. Consistency is the key. You guys been watching me for 2 weeks sit here and be up on stocks every day and then end up taking a loss on them because I don't lock in profits. If I was locking in my profits, then it would be consistency and I would be continually to grow this account instead of going backwards. But my consistency is a big issue. It's my discipline. I have issues with discipline that I'm constantly working on. It's not for lack of knowledge of the stock market, it's lack of discipline. Discipline is very important. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta cut out of the stocks when you know you gotta cut out. You gotta lock in profits when you have them. That's how you stay consistent with, is you stay disciplined. You guys having a measuring contest right now? Are you guys trying to pull out the rulers, having a weenie ruler test or challenge? The Ox bar looks like it's probably gonna crack here soon. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave a stop loss in here, and he'd lose. One Life and DB, they hate penny stocks, but they'll both trade penny stocks if they see the right setup. So they're originally penny stock traders. Neither one of them uh, can started out trading. Well, Daniel B might have started out trading higher caps, but I'm pretty sure One Life you started on penny stocks and you've moved on to mid caps and large caps, which the mid caps and large caps are more consistent. They're not as choppy as penny stocks. Like penny stocks, you gotta have good market conditions. You gotta have patterns, and still sometimes things just don't work out. with mid caps and large caps, usually if you have a pattern and you've got volume, you usually get the breakout. Penny stocks, though, it doesn't take much. One trader can ruin your day. One guy from Wall Street with $1 million or whatever can come in and ruin your day. All it takes is one person. And with all the trading chat rooms out there as well, one chat room could come in and short a stock and ruin your day. But if you're trading the low float sex scandal stocks, that's one life's favorite thing. I'm gonna make a shirt of low float sex scandal stocks. That'd be a funny shirt. Yeah, penny stocks it's usually a lot of pump and dump. I mean, it's a lot of manipulation, a lot of different things like that. That's why the mid cap and large caps are a little more consistent, because you don't have whole chat rooms manipulating. I mean, of course, there's going to be chat rooms and traders who are going to go in pretty heavy on some of those stocks, but usually the volume on those stocks when they have it is you usually have institutions and a lot of different people trading it, so it's a little less sketchy. Plus, you're not trading garbage companies. Most penny stocks are garbage companies. Like, I guarantee Ox Bar is the bottom of the barrel trash company that's probably millions in debt and has 2 employees and no revenue. But the mid and large caps, a lot of times, if they're moving in upward directions, then they definitely are somewhat a decent company. Let's see. Let's look at MVCN, and then I'm gonna call it a day, guys. I know the strategy you're thinking, and there is a gap right there that could be filled. Let me see. Let me look back here. 120, 117. There is a gap that could be filled, but the overall on this chart, whoops, let me look at the max chart here. Yeah, see, this is garbage. This is a garbage chart. This is a garbage company on NVCN. So, I mean, it could fill that gap. I mean, that's a possibility. It does have that gap to fill. And it has been getting some volume here lately. But they're definitely a garbage company. No volume today whatsoever. I mean, maybe it could come out with PR. It could get some volume out of nowhere and get pumped and fill this gap. It could not do anything and just go sideways. It could sell off. They could do a reverse stock split. They could get delisted. There's a lot of different things that can happen with a stock like this. So that's the thing. The pattern is not horrible. If it does break this 115 area, it does have that gap to fill, but it's just hard to say on these stocks. They're real sketchy. So nice bounce there off the trend line for Ox Bar. So maybe we could see it continue to climb. That's what I said, maybe a couple of hours. I love sideways stocks. No, sideways stocks are not for long-term investment. I mean, that swing trading those type of penny stocks are real sketchy. I'm trying. Let's see if I can find something to use as an example. That's a decent mid cap. Let's just go with O. Let's see what O's doing. So O is going sideways, but this O is a very nice REIT. Pays a monthly dividend of 23 cents. But overall, you can see the growth on O is upwards. So it's kind of going sideways right now. Not really anything there I would think would be worth swinging. Well, maybe. This max chart's below all these indicators. Got a little bit of a uptrend. So, you know, that something like that would be a decent swing, but you don't see it moving too much unless it has some type of good PR or whatever. Well, that's not really the best example to use for a swing. This is one of my long-term holds. I really don't care that much what it's doing, as long as it ain't completely selling off. I'm trying to think of some other companies that I could pull up. Yeah, One Life is making some good points. There's been a good year for making profits because the entire market took that big old dump back in March from COVID. So after this point, the market's only been going up. So swinging mid caps and large caps and even penny stocks was working pretty well, and even the day trades, because the market was continually going up. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here at the beginning of the year, and with it looks like Biden's going to be president, and we've got all this inflation happening and money printer going burr. There's a lot of sketchiness, and I don't know how much longer the market's going to continue to go up. It could continue to raise because the buying power of your dollar is decreasing, so assets usually tend to climb in that situation. But the stock market is also a bubble. After this big crash here, the Feds have been buying stocks and bonds and treasuries and all that to prop the market up. So the stock market is a very big bubble right now. Whether that'll continue or not, I don't know. It's so disconnected from reality this year. Because like we just hit an all-time high the other day. Like, was that on the 17th or something? And our GDP to debt is 130% the last time I checked. It's like 128.8. And GDP to debt, that's basically our income as a country to our debt. So our debt is 130% higher than our GDP. Like, it's not even like it's very bad. We're not even paying the interest on what we owe as a country. So we're just tumbling. So let's see, Oxbar back up to 240 here. I am a bubble. I am the bubble. But that's something, I don't know when it's coming. Stock market's probably going to crash at some point. Me and Daniel B were talking about earlier, tomorrow, this week, I don't think that's going to be the main crash. I think that's just going to be a little pullback, end of the year pullback. and we'll see January it start to climb some more, probably. Because if they pass these $2,000 stimulus checks, then people will be spending that money, which will go into the economy, which will make the stock market investors happier, and it should keep climbing. But at the same time, just know that the market is very disconnected from reality right now. Tell you when there wasn't debt? Well, there wasn't. I don't think we were in debt during the gold standard. Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me look this up. Well, if I can find an article that's not going to give me a bunch of trash. Or a chart. I'm just looking for a chart. I mean, it's not bad for the government to have debt if they're reinvesting it back into the economy. Then you can get growth out of that. But the types of level of debt we're seeing are pretty insane. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up for you guys to see if you can see this. So here's the cumulative debt. See, it's constantly going up. This is from when the country started. So this has got GDP on here. End of term percent total debt. And as we go on, you'll see the debt will continue to climb, especially after 1970. Where's the gold standard getting taken off at? Nixon, I think, was the one who took the dollar off the gold standard. And then you'll just see, look at the, now, dollars off the gold standard. Now look at this. Starts going up and it doubles within 6 or 7 years of being off the gold standard. Now look at it. Every year that's going by, more and more and more debt. And this debt is from the government continually to grow and overbloat itself. And you can see down here, 22 trillion is the last thing this this showed. And we're actually at 27. So just pull up the US debt clock here. Yeah, we're at 27.5 trillion. And you can see debt per taxpayer, 220,000. Here's the problem right here. The spending, the U.S. federal spending, 6 something trillion, almost 7. U.S. federal tax revenue, 3.5. So the government is spending twice as much money as they're making of revenue. And you can see right there, 128%, almost 129% debt to GDP ratio. Now here's the interest on the debt. You know, we got 344 billion in interest that's not going down. Look at this interest is going up. We're not even paying our interest. I mean, this is the first time in history that this has happened. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. So, you know, I know what you're saying, One Life, that debt is only as debt is not a bad thing for the country to have, and the country's always had debt. Yes, but the country has never had this much debt and this little GDP. Like the government. I don't know what they can do honestly at this point to turn it around because they're spending so much money, and the only way that you can get out of debt is two ways. You either bring in more income revenue, more revenue streams to make sure your income is higher than your debt, higher than your money going out. And I don't know where we can tap into more revenue streams unless Elon Musk gets these spaceships up to Mars or wherever else, and maybe they can start mining resources from those other planets and bring them back. That's one possible option, but I don't think we're close to that, probably 10, 20 years away. Or Or you have to cut spending, and our government is definitely not cutting spending. They're giving themselves raises all the time. The spending is going to continue. So without any sources of revenue, if they're not cutting spending, we're just going to continue to head down a slope of death. Yeah, it's backed. You're exactly right, Fitz. It's backed by nothing but the faith of the U.S. government, and that is the problem. That's the fiat currency, the U.S. dollar, and a lot of our debt is in treasuries that's went out to the rest of the world. Well, if the rest of the world sees our government starting to look very stupid, which our government's looked extremely stupid this year, uh, then the government's word to the rest of the world is going to be trash, which means that their word on the currency and our debt is going to go to trash, and we're going to get destroyed. Yeah, we definitely need to stop paying them so much. But if you go here, I'll show you guys another stupid thing before I end the stream here, because I'm getting really hungry. This last thing, and then I'm gonna get off here. So let's see. What is it? Yeah. Okay. So here this is. I'm gonna show this to you guys real quick. All right. So this is part of the problem right here. There we go. So this is part of the problem. This is we have an A through Z index of government departments and agencies. You can go through this and you can see all these different things that the government is spending money on. And there's good stuff and there's crazy stuff. Like look at this, Alhura TV. What is that? This is a radio, some type of radio type of thing. Yeah, Middle East Broadcasting Network operates Alhura TV and Radio Sawa. Like, why are we paying for the Middle East news? Does that make any sense? That's just one, but you can go through this list of all this stuff and look at all this different things. I've went through it before, and there's a bunch of stuff where I'm just like smacking myself in the face, like what is going on here? But this is a lot of the problem. These government programs and agencies, it's gotten too big. It's gotten absolutely too big.
I'll show you guys this one last one because I think it's funny. Here it is. The Japan United States Friendship Commission. So we've got a friendship commission with Japan. Let's see. Annual budget for the Japanese friendship. Let's see. What is it? The Japan U.S. Friendship Committee. So all you got to do to look at this stuff, or it's commission, not committee. I mean, you just got to do a little bit of research and you can find out how ridiculous our government is. And let's see, is that it right there? Annual budget $3 million. And right here you can see where the money goes. Let's see. Here we go. Annual budget $3 million. And we have a trust fund with them that's around $37 million. So we got 4 employees there. Those 4 employees probably make $100,000 each. Like what? All right, that's enough of that. You guys see what I'm saying? Like it's dumb. There's a lot of dumbness with our government, and and it's just nonsense. Let's see. Ox bar still slowly climbing up the trend line. It may not be nothing new in life, but it's a continuing trend of spending more money than we're making and continuing to spend more money. And then on top of that, you have to incorporate the money printing they're doing, which is driving the purchasing power of the dollar down. I mean, you got people who are begging for money from the government right now with these stimulus packages because some of these cities are locking down and stuff. We've never seen what has happened in our history this year. This is the first time something like this has happened, and we were already in rough shape before all this happened. All the market, the stock market and housing market, all that has been a bubble since 2008. Like, Obama never fixed the problems from the housing crash in 2008. All they did was have the Federal Reserve use quantitative easing, which we're using still because of COVID, and that just continues to decrease the purchasing value of the dollar. So your lower class and middle class, your worker bees who go and run, all the factories and every pretty much job there is, the people who are not CEOs, the people who are the worker bees are struggling right now. The worker bees are dying right now. They're committing suicide. There's a lot going on because of that. And we're not in the same situation. This is not even close to the same situation as the debt we were in to what we're facing now. Like, we're on the verge of a currency crisis, at least. So, that's the thing. Like, if you don't understand the difference, when I say purchasing power of the dollar is a fiat currency. It's fake money. Like, I forgot who it was earlier, but said, the currency is based by the government. Our debt and the currency is based on the government's word, and that is it. So when you look at value, your dollar, it says $1. So you can buy something for $1, right? But that's not a value. That is a measure of the amount of currency. The value is your purchasing power. So value is relative to a lot of different things. Like if you're buying real estate, you might buy the house for $60,000, let's say. You get a deal on it, but the actual value of the house may be $80,000. So it's the same premise for all different types of value. There's a common value principle with that is under all of the different assets and currencies and all that. So your purchasing power of the dollar, the way it's continually being decreased, is hurting the middle and lower class, because they get the perfect example of this is the first stimulus checks. Middle and lower class got those stimulus checks, and where did they spend that money with? They sent it to Amazon and these major grocery store chains and all this stuff. So the feds printed the money. The value that was in that money then transferred from consumers to the big corporations, and the big corporations then turn around and take that currency and put it in other investments and assets that are not currency. Big companies don't keep cash. They try to stay in debt so they can write off taxes and avoid all this. But this is not something that's sustainable. We can't continue to sustain the type of crony capitalism and Federal Reserve money printing that is going on in overbloated government. Like, just because it's been fine the past 10 or 20 years doesn't mean it will continue to be fine. We're getting worse and worse and worse as time goes on, and we're not addressing any of the original problems. We're not addressing what caused these original bubbles and stuff, and there's a lot to that. But I'm not going to get into all that. But yeah, it's not looking good, basically. You'd be hard pressed to try to convince me that there's a way that the U.S. comes back from this at the current moment. I mean, there's a great reset. The whole World Economic Forum is figuring out how to do a great reset right now, because that's how bad the whole world's debt is. It's not just the U.S. The whole world has been letting those money printers go. The central banks have been printing money like crazy. So this is not one of those things where a new president's going to come in and fix anything. That's not the type of situation. We're in a very, very rough situation. So no, I haven't sold my property yet, and I may not sell it now at this point, because real estate assets are probably going to continue to go up. So I don't know if I even want to sell at this point. I took it off the market because it wasn't selling right away. It's kind of a slow time in my area for buyers. There's like the last week when we posted it to sell, and then a last week of hotness, and then we posted it in that week, and we got a couple of bites, but then after that, school started back and everything else, so there wasn't as many buyers in the market. But now every day I'm getting stuff from real estate agents to try to sell it and put it back on the market again, because there's no houses for sale in my city. Like, there's literally not one. It's a very sought after area, and there's not one house. So the value is going to increase on this asset. So I don't know if I want to sell it anyway at this point. Probably going to try to keep it. But all right, guys. Appreciate everybody joining me today. Good talks. Good job to any. I need to get out of this ghetto that doesn't have any houses for sale. Yeah, my city's definitely like I don't live in Milwaukee. I live outside of Milwaukee, so the surrounding counties of all the, and this is true in all the major cities, the surrounding counties around the major cities all seen increase in real estate because people started moving out of the cities because of everything that happened this year. I mean, you saw a big exodus of California. Joe Rogan left, Elon Musk left, a bunch of different comedians and entertainment people left, and businesses leaving. My friend who lived in California, he just moved. He moved to Oklahoma. So you're seeing this exodus of these large cities and these smaller cities around them gaining in value while the large cities drop. But all right, so enough of this crazy financial talk. We'll talk about this stuff later on. I'm actually going to move my stop loss up here a little bit on Oxbar. But I'm going to call it a day and let this little guy ride and see if it ever starts moving again. But good job to anybody who made some profits today in this crazy choppy market. We will be back tomorrow to see what tomorrow holds. I'm expecting it to be probably even choppier and a big pullback in the overall market. Let's see. Where's my... There we go. Yeah, so you can see the market's pretty red today. Yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Till next time.